you expect them to be a juggernaut. Offensively, you expect them to wreak havoc and make some noise. And obviously, with LeBron James looking the way that he looked, not getting any younger, but miraculously at the age of 40 in his 22nd season, looking as exceptional.
So when I'm asked the question about pressure being on LeBron James, there's always going to be pressure on him. But what I would say, based on the product that we're seeing on the court, it's too much damn pressure on LeBron.
The Los Angeles Lakers are sinking fast and people are rushing to throw the blame at LeBron James. But this whole thing feels wrong. Stephen A. Smith just put the spotlight on what's really going on, and it's wild. What's happening to LeBron right now is straight up unfair. Even with the Lakers playing shaky ball, acting like everything is LeBron's fault makes no sense. He's still hooping at a crazy high level, dropping numbers the players almost half his age can't keep up with. At 40 years old, he's still one of the most efficient and steady players in the whole league, and that's unbelievable.
So when I'm asked the question about pressure being on LeBron James, there's always going to be pressure on him. But what I would say, based on the product that we're seeing on the court, it's too much damn pressure on LeBron James. Last night's loss to the Charlotte Hornets, that wasn't LeBron James's fault. The guy went for 26, 11, and 7, and he's 40 years old. You put Mark Williams on a post.
But instead of giving him credit, people look right past what he's doing because the team keeps falling apart around him. The real problem is the Lakers' messy defense, the lazy rotations, the weak energy, and the ugly late-game decisions that keep happening game after game. Losses against weaker teams, like that collapse against the Charlotte Hornets, show everything that's wrong. Missed chances, bad defensive reads, and an offense that looks like nobody knows what's happening.
He has looked. You certainly don't expect this team to go in an opposite direction from where they were going before the trade. And so we're looking at all of that right now. And in that regard, fair or unfair, again, it always is going to fall on the shoulders of LeBron James. And that's why I say there's some pressure in that regard.
If the oldest dude on the team is the only one consistently showing up, maybe the blame needs to move toward the supporting crew and the coaching choices instead of the man carrying the whole weight every night. No NBA player ever had this level of pressure at LeBron's age. And it's wild that he's still being judged like he's 28.
So when I'm asked the question about pressure being on LeBron James, there's always going to be pressure on him. But what I would say, based on the product that we're seeing on the court, it's too much damn pressure on LeBron James.
Most legends got to slow down late in their careers, but LeBron is still being asked to drag a whole franchise like he's in his prime, and that's crazy. Even when he drops elite performances, the team can't turn it into wins, and somehow the losses land on him instead of the people around him who aren't matching his effort. His workload is still way too heavy, and it's wild that he has to play this many minutes at this point in his career. He's taking on responsibilities that should have been handled by smarter roster moves, not by forcing a 40-year-old star to do everything himself. At this stage, he should be guiding the young guys, stepping into a strategic leader role while they carry the action.
They are unfair. The noise is real. From the standpoint, on one side, Wendy and I will debunk that when people are talking about he had to know something about Anthony Davis' trade before it took place, and who believed that. I don't hold much water to that. Neither does Wendy, as we've articulated on this show, but there's a flip side to it as well.
But because the roster hasn't been managed right and too many players aren't holding their weight, he's still the main option every night, and that's not sustainable for anybody. This isn't just tough on him, it's messing up the team's future too. The Lakers' problems start with the front office, failing to build a team that can actually battle at the top level. Instead of fixing the real needs, perimeter defense, three-point shooting, and front court depth, they made moves that made everything worse. They let go of important defensive pieces without bringing in legit replacements, leaving the lineup full of holes on both offense and defense. Now they're stuck fighting problems they created themselves. No rim protection, inconsistent scoring outside of LeBron and Anthony Davis, and a team leaning too hard on aging stars to save the day. Not adding a real secondary playmaker just made it messier because LeBron is still the one running the offense even at his age.
Yeah, I mean, it's just, like you said, it's his third game since Christmas, you know, and it's his third game with us in the sense of just trying to, still doesn't know all the plays, he doesn't know all the defensive coverages, all the signals and things that we've built since September. So, you Obviously, we were trying to fast track it on the fly.
All these issues turned the system into something disconnected and stressful, with the weight pushed onto one player instead of being shared across the team. It's leading to frustration, missed chances, and a whole lot of pressure that could have been avoided. And unless they actually fix these structural problems, the Lakers will keep struggling no matter how well LeBron plays. The trade involving Anthony Davis set off a whole wave of talk, and people are still wondering if LeBron James knew what was coming before it hit the news. Some fans pushed conspiracy ideas, saying LeBron staying quiet before the deal meant he was in on it, even though nothing was confirmed. Stephen A. Smith already shut that talk down and called it baseless, but the storyline keeps floating around anyway.
This one was obviously much better than the second one. The second one had to be rushed a little bit, but had good looks. We had good looks all night. You run the set that the coaches, JJ draws up, and we executed. We just didn't make it.
No matter how the truth shakes out, the trade completely changed the team's direction. Davis was one of the Lakers' biggest pieces, locking down the defense and giving them a real force inside. So moving him without bringing in someone just as dominant left huge openings everywhere. And beyond the court, that move created tension in the locker room and shifted the whole vibe, something the team still hasn't fully fixed. Instead of building a stronger foundation, the Lakers were left scrambling, trying to patch things on the fly. And it made staying competitive even harder. With Luka Doncic arriving, it feels like the franchise already started shifting toward a new main star, even if they haven't said it out loud. LeBron is still a dominant force, no question, but everyone can see the focus slowly leaning toward Luka becoming the long-term leader.
JJ talked about it yesterday. It's going to be something that we got to manage for the rest of the season and going into the postseason, but I was happy I was able to get some days off.
This switch-up created a tricky dynamic because Luka is trying to fit into a system built around LeBron for years, and his style is completely different. Luka needs a new offensive structure to really shine, and that system isn't fully built yet. The Lakers now have to guide this leadership change without making LeBron feel pushed aside, which is tough when both players are such major forces. Early signs show Luka is still holding back too much, almost too respectful, and it's making him hesitate in big moments, which leaves the team looking unsure of who's in control. That hesitation has created a real identity crisis on the floor, and the Lakers can't afford that. They have to find a balance between celebrating everything LeBron still brings and stepping into Luka's future, or else they'll get stuck in the middle of a stacked Western Conference with no clear direction. No serious championship team should ever walk into a game and take a humiliating loss from a rebuilding squad. And that's exactly what they're risking if nothing changes. Yet that's exactly what went down when the Lakers folded against the Charlotte Hornets, and the collapse was brutal. They led almost the whole game, then fell apart in the fourth quarter, getting smoked by a ridiculous 22-1 run that exposed how shaky and unfocused they were when it mattered most. Weak defensive rotations, wild shot choices, and zero real leadership showed up right when they needed it most. LeBron came through with another strong game, but the rest of the squad didn't bring any stability, letting Charlotte punish every single mistake the Lakers made. A performance like that showed loud and clear that this team can't depend only on talent. Execution matters every night. This loss was a wake-up call that if they can't stay locked in against weaker teams, they're in real danger in a stacked Western Conference where every slip hurts. Their struggles aren't from one bad decision. It's a chain of choices that slowly chipped away at their edge, and now they're paying for it. Rob Pelinka has pulled off some solid moves, but the overall strategy has been all over the place, and it shows. Instead of building a steady roster, the team has jumped into reaction trades that don't fix the core issues they keep running into. That approach keeps them scrambling instead of building real momentum. They've given up defensive depth, moved important role players without bringing in equal replacements, and boxed themselves in with a tight salary cap that limits flexibility. These choices left the Lakers stuck in this loop of constant rebuilding, instead of creating a strong base that lasts for years. Meanwhile, other teams around the league keep leveling up with smart moves and player development, while the Lakers stay in this cycle of short-term patches that stop them from hitting their full championship potential. That kind of mindset blocks them from opening their real window before it closes for good. And the truth is simple. Nobody can beat time forever. LeBron James has pushed back father time longer than anyone expected, still hooping at a crazy high level deep into his 40s, which is unreal. But the moment decline hits, it won't tap him on the shoulder slowly. It'll arrive fast, and the Lakers aren't prepared for that reality. It's gonna hit fast, and the Lakers still haven't prepared for that moment, even though everyone knows it's coming. They keep leaning on LeBron like he can play at this crazy level forever, and every extra minute he's forced to carry the load raises the risk of burnout or injury. But they still push him to be the main scorer and the main playmaker every night like nothing can go wrong. The real concern isn't just LeBron eventually slowing down. It's what happens to this team the second he does. With no real succession plan and a supporting cast that shows up one night and disappears the next, the Lakers are taking a dangerous route. The longer they depend on LeBron to drag this team, the harder the crash will be when he can't do it anymore. And his presence has given him serious pull in the front office, shaping roster moves based on what he feels fits best. That influence played a part in big decisions, including the Russell Westbrook trade, a move that blew up on them and set the franchise back in a huge way. Star players usually have some say in roster choices, but the Lakers took it to another level, choosing short-term fixes based on LeBron's vision instead of building something that lasts. Some of those choices helped them win a title, but others left the team scrambling and trying to clean up the mess afterward. Now the real test is whether the Lakers keep catering to everything LeBron wants or finally shift into long-term planning mode. With his career moving into the final stretch, the front office has to step up and think beyond his years instead of reshuffling pieces just to match his current style. Time is running out for the Lakers to get another championship before the window slams shut, and they can't afford to waste what little time they have left. The Western Conference is tougher than ever, packed with younger squads that are deeper and hungrier, and they keep outperforming the Lakers every season. With each year they fail to make real progress, the team slips further from true contention, and it gets harder to bring in top-level talent who want to win now. LeBron can still lead a title run, but the roster flaws and the inconsistent play around him keep shutting that dream down fast. If the Lakers don't make a serious change soon, their shot at another championship will vanish, leaving them stuck in a post-LeBron rebuild with no real plan behind it. If the Lakers want to squeeze anything out of the last part of this window, they need to move right now, because waiting any longer guarantees this era ends in disappointment instead of another banner going up in the rafters. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Somebody needs to hear this.